Hi everyone! Today I want to talk to you about true stories of how people that I know have immigrated to Canada. There are many different ways to do that, and I will show you how they did it. Starting from me, as you might have seen in my videos before, I have got a working visa first. I was a temporary foreign worker for 2 years, after which I applied for my residency and I got it. When you're in Canada, it's much more easier to get your permanent residence than if you're outside of Canada, and it's actually much more faster. So my personal story, as you can see, is a great example of very fast and legal immigration. I have the similar story of my best friend here, who came from Georgia, but it was harder to do for her because she did not know English, almost nothing. What she did before immigration, once she got a job here, she started to study English. She went specifically for IELTS courses. IELTS was required for application, so she was studying it for a few months before applying. She passed it. She got a very low score, but that was enough to pass immigration. So once she came, we met each other. Eventually we became best friends. So these are two stories for you of how to find a job in Canada even if you don't know English, as easy as it gets. Another story is my colleague. She's from Serbia. She is a very nice girl, very smart. How she immigrated, I believe it was maybe 7 or 10 years ago. She came here as a visitor to visit her uncle. Sure, she liked the country, and probably she decided to stay. She was figuring out how to do it. First option was to get a student visa, which she could not get for some reason. The Canadian government declined it for her. And there were only 1 or 2 months left for her to stay in Canada. After that, she would be either deported or she would just have to leave. So, being a smart Serbian girl, she just figured out that the easiest way will be to get married. What she did, and that's how she stayed. She married a guy who she truly fell in love with, and once she got married, she applied for residency as a wife of Canadian citizen. That's how she got her residency here, and we work together at the same place now. She's also coming from a third world country, Serbia, but she figured out on her own how to do it. It was not a legal way, it was absolutely legal way to immigrate, to get married to a resident or citizen here in Canada. And she lived with a guy for a pretty long time. I'm not sure if she divorced from him or not yet, but that was another way to immigrate. Here you go. Another story of legal immigration is a story of my another colleague. Her name is Maria. She comes from St. Petersburg. She and her husband immigrated around 13 years ago as permanent residents right away. Her husband applied as a software developer and she was a co-signer. She was not a principal applicant, but that's how she got here. She knew English, her husband knew English. Once they came here, they confirmed their diplomas by studying here, and both of them got jobs. They've been working for all this time. They've been having a really great life, traveling all around and just being happy that they're not in Russia anymore. And there are a few examples of illegal immigration which I highly do not recommend. It's just for you to know that these stories and these people also exist in Canada. So one story is of a guy, a Georgian guy, who immigrated here as a refugee. Refugee is totally different program from skillful immigration that allows people from countries like let's say Afghanistan, Syria, Iraq, where currently the war is going on, to come to Canada and to claim that you are a refugee. What does it mean? It means that a person is being personally prosecuted by either government or some other people, and this prosecution is actually a hazard to his life or health. That's why coming to Canada, he is escaping those conditions, and he is claiming that he is a victim there, and he asked for protection. How does it work? Once such person comes to Canada, he claims to be a refugee, and Canada gives him some allowance to leave before they settle a court where he or she would have to prove that they're actual refugees, that they're not lying to the government. So the guy I know, well, it's just what they told me. I'm not pretty sure how it happened, when it happened, but he just claimed he was a refugee, saying that he was a gay. As far as I know, the guy is not a gay, but it's a big issue in Canada. Gay people are being protected here because Canada is a big hub for all abused kind of people, for people who are being prosecuted by racist people, by gay haters and whatsoever. So he just came and said, I was a gay in Georgia, and in Georgia you cannot be a gay because people would just kill you once they know it. The guy was not a gay, but somehow in 2 months at the court he was able to prove that he was a gay. I have no idea how he did it, because I know for sure he is not the one, but this is an example of illegal immigration. The court claimed that he was a real gay, and they gave him a status of protected person in Canada. So he's been living here for a really long time under gay status. He already applied for residency. I believe he is even citizen now. He's not gay for sure, but because he chose an illegal way of immigration, he cannot get married now. Otherwise, he might be just deported, because the government would understand that he was cheating on them, or I don't know, like if you immigrated illegally, any kind of stuff can happen to you. But so far he's been living in Calgary, everything is okay with him, and he just claiming to be a gay while not being one. So, and what other stories I know? I guess for today it's enough. Once I remember new ones, I will definitely tell you in another video. Please subscribe to my channel and put like. And if you have any questions regarding this video or any other material concerning Canadian immigration, I will be more than happy to reply you based on personal experience. Thank you very much for watching, and have a great day.